Okay, we're back, guys. Thank you for sticking around. We got the, I guess the losers bracket semifinals coming up here with FuturE versus JonSnow, and then the winner plays Drunken Boy. In the meantime, though, I should probably choose to tell the stream. Also, I want to show you guys what's really cool here. So, I talked about the stream deck earlier, now that I've got some more folks watching. First off, this thing comes from Elgato, so Elgato, if you want to sponsor us, I have no problem talking about this. Otherwise, I'm only going to show it off the one time, unless I find it really cool. There's some cool functionality with this, though, where you can customize buttons. So, for example, you guys might not be able to see this. There's one here in the middle that shows the live viewer count on the stream. That's pretty rad. There's also other commands here, like if I press this button, it'll put it in slow mode. This button, put it in sub mode, stuff like that. This one, though, is the one I custom made in the top right. I don't know if the camera will focus on it. It should just be an exclamation mark. And when I press it, you'll hear this sound. Because I've tied it into the snake alert sound. So it's like the first sound out of a couple. And I really want to build like a soundboard for it. That'd be fun. People are suggesting quotes from like the co-op missions and some other things. But I want to find some more meme things. But here's the really cool part of it. I haven't set it up for all of our emotes yet. But you can customize it. So if I press this folder, you'll see the fruit lol emote in big face, and if I press any of these buttons, it just does the emote in chat. But it's customizable. It's cool. I can do like a microphone mute, unmute thing. My sad thing is that it doesn't work. Like it's not. XSplit isn't built for it yet. It's made primarily for OBS, but they said XSplit's coming in the future. So doing scene swaps and cool transitions and extra noises. I really probably should just build a tab for like the Roddy soundboard and bring that back to life. Very good macro. It's like on the side. Actually, did you see my? It was like a week ago or something. But the tweet I made about that specifically.
I don't think so.
There's a post where I don't remember if it was Nicki Minaj or some celebrity. She had been investing secretly in like a village over time, and it's finally like the village is now booming because of it. So I just commented in the thread. I'm like, very good macro, and linked it to Roddy.
Oh, I did see that.
Anyways,
so many tweets.
We're waiting for JonSnow to come back. He's just using the bathroom real quick, but we're good to go as soon as he's good to go. First map is going to be Odyssey.
Both of them need to go to the bathroom.
Together?
Maybe.
It's like a girl thing to do, man.
I feel like if you're at home and you go to the bathroom together, it's more than just a girl thing.
No, here's what's happened. If you're at home and you've gone to the bathroom in a group, it's probably at a party and you're now in the bathroom for the rest of the night, dealing with really petty small drama and ruining everyone else's experience around it. That is 9 out of 10 times I go to a house party.
See, I've never been to a house party, but I have seen movies, and I guess you're right, that does happen.
All
but
the
I've
time.
never, ever, okay, so first of all, I've only ever gone to the bathroom to talk to, like, people, I think, like, 4 times in my life. Definitely not more than like 6, okay? And then second of all, I would never, like, even if, because usually I have to go to the bathroom legitimately, so I'd never want to go into a single stall bathroom and be like, come in, like, because then I'd be like, can you wait like a minute and then
do
come
like
in?
the
like,
little finger thing, like come in.
No. Okay.
Also, real quick, thank you to Lemon Pepper 512. Just threw $5 towards the Mega Tournament fundraiser. Says donating for ZG to blow a kiss to the camera. Smiley face.
Well, then why'd you donate already?
I think you're supposed to first say I'll do it if she does it, and then she does it. I'll give you a kiss. The only response to that is an Ace W in chat. Also, Crime Dog says, I was only asking about the Gauntlet thing because I like both channels. I didn't know if you guys ever collaborate, etc. Nothing shady. What's this? Sorry, nothing shady intended. Well, let me give you guys the real talk about this, because this applies to Wardy and the Gauntlet and, fuck, even ESL. The thing is, we're all English casters, and we're all competing for the same job, essentially, regardless how friendly we are at the end of the day. If a tournament comes out and says, hey, we need an English cast, who do we have? They're going to pick from one of the select people. And so, in that instance, we are competitors. We're not evil and vile and hateful against one another. But things are not all rainbows and unicorns, if that makes sense. So, again, I stand by my statement. We don't actually have any beef with the folks from the Gauntlet. They do their thing, we do ours. That's about where that goes for me, at least. At any rate, we have an update more important than this, and that's Drunken Boy has chosen to just drop out of the losers bracket. He doesn't want to fight this out anymore. So, FuturE is the last remaining Terran in the tournament with JonSnow and Panda Bear Me outside of him.
Womp womp. All right, well.
Spawning here in the top left. Sorry, I wasn't sure if you could say something. It is none other than our blue Zerg player from Storm Gaming, JonSnow.
It doesn't help that sometimes it sounds like you either cut off or are starting to speak because your mic is fizzing. In the bottom right is the red Terran. He is FuturE.
All right. Big thank you to Miss Tings, who says in chat, by the way, Rifkin, Zombie Grub, thank you both for the great casting. Off to bed for me, 4 a.m., starting to crash. Thanks, chat. Have a good night, man. Glad to have you drop by, and of course, thank you for the sub. Also, I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna blanketly sell out while we wait for the game to open, guys. It's around that time. Twitch Prime subs are expiring. If you don't know, you don't automatically apply them. You do have to manually every month resub to your favorite streamer with your Twitch Prime sub. I'm hoping there's a couple of folks who might have one free and available, because the thing is, it's free and it's available. And if you give us the Twitch Prime sub, not only will you get no ads whatsoever while you're on the channel, you'll also be giving us some cash, because Twitch will pay us the same amount as if you were a regular sub, which is cool. And more importantly than that, though, no matter what stream you're on, whether it's here, Nathanius, The Gauntlet, etc., when you don't get an ad, you still give the impression as if you did. So streamers will make more money just by you being AFK in chat than if you weren't there either. Twitch Prime does a lot of wonderful things, and I hope you guys will consider subscribing to us. But even if you don't, just a reminder to use it on your favorite streamer, because it's a waste not to. It's free money.
Well done. That was a good summary of what it was.
I wasn't sure if I was supposed to say thank you or you're welcome.
Both. So this is a lot of lings. What's scary is you don't know how fast Speed is going to be following this up. JonSnow didn't really go for very fast Speed. I feel like this almost looks like it's mistimed. Like he wanted Speed to help this out, but it's like 10-15 seconds too late. I think it just is the way that it was supposed to go. He was supposed to find it without the Reaper helping, and unfortunately found the Reaper instead, so that wasn't too great.
That was a good save on the SCV, by the way.
Yeah, very nice micro from FuturE. We don't know a lot about this guy. We kind of mentioned like hearing his name or casting him like a long time ago. Just know that he's on Sloth Esports, so I guess like Poke Bunny is his teammate or something. I have no idea. But he did beat a couple of really good players to get to this point. Apparently he 3-racks No Regret relentlessly. But not showing that here versus JonSnow.
Maybe not the first game. Also, No Regret's more of like an all-indie player, and JonSnow isn't, so things like barracks can really topple over and snowball in those situations a lot more. Whereas against a macro player, you don't want to throw yourself and set yourself up for fail.
JonSnow was doing some eerily similar No Regret cheese, wasn't he? In the last qualifier, the start of it?
Yes. Oh, but there was a reason for that.
Name.
No, there was a reason for that, though, because if you remember, I also mentioned how he whispered me, kind of apologizing because he was trying to balance grinding out for WCS as well as trying to play the tournament simultaneously. So today he doesn't have to worry about competing and splitting his attention, so I don't think we'll see the No Regret-esque games come out of him.
Yeah. No, it doesn't seem like it. He's already played quite a bit and hasn't shown it, but it's potential. Thank you to Lupe for the 9-month resub.
Reminders! Twitch Prime 9-month resub, I might add.
That's weird. People were like, I guess, talking about the house parties and all that, and their own experiences. I don't really think about my years before esports anymore. That they aren't really important to me, I suppose. So at one point in time, I actually remember being like, kind of sad that I never went to a high school house party, but like not too bad. I got over it, right? But now as I'm getting closer to like 28 years old, I'm like constantly trying to remind myself that a 10-year high school reunion is coming up. And I'm actually pretty excited for that. I know we've talked about it before, you don't want to go to yours, but I'm looking forward to all the nostalgia.
Well,
all the things that I didn't do.
I went to mine.
Oh, that's right, you did! Yeah, you, but didn't you say, like, you didn't really want to? You didn't have a very good time at your high school?
They're so. There's a part of this I
Okay.
didn't tell on stream where I totally got teased by a girl in terms of like, here's my number, definitely call me, and then never wanted to
Well-
fucking do anything after a call or fucking drunk.
I meant actual high school experience. I mean, remember that up.
Oh.
But yeah, I do remember that now. I feel like we have talked about it the last 4 years, however, so.
High school was a weird time. Marines get on creep, get a little bit deep, but they do take out most of the tumors, which is really nice. However, JonSnow's right here to plant them back down.
You get a Philly Willy 1, 2, 3.
That's a fun name to say. I'm really sad that I didn't. I'm gonna say it, Philly Willy.
Or Filey Wiley, either one.
Okay, Jessica.
Just saying, usually Phil. The double L's the Y. I don't know.
By the way,
All right,
real
so-
talk.
What?
Every single party I had in high school that I went to, rager, got drunk, whatever, nothing actually compared. The best time I think I ever had, quote unquote, partying was after Hell's Boot time. Starting off with kind of like the 4 of us just chilling in the back with that little rent a campfire thing.
Rent a campfire.
I don't even want to call it. Fire pit, that's the word.
Yes, that's usually what you would call it. No, it's definitely fun. That's why, like, I don't even... All my experiences, like I said, people had in high school that were much, like, more dangerous, I've had pretty safe in my adult life, so... I'm okay with it. It's a couple of banelings, but only a couple. I'd wait for, you know, they had like 3 or 4 more. Otherwise, you're in risk of getting them sniped. And FuturE was piling on the aggression. He has a third base, but he immediately medevaced over the more Marines and a Cyclone even. So, to be very careful.
Muxie used tackle. Tackle's never super effective, but it did knock out whoever was the boss before. I didn't read it actually, but Terminator's the boss now.
On team?
I'm the captain now.
JonSnow is either feeling the pressure or just a little bit off his game, banking quite a lot.
I feel like it's more that he's playing it super safe. I don't know. I don't feel like he's getting caught off guard by anything, because what's happening is like this is FuturE trading up for a lot of creep. It's not getting to mineral lines. It's not double dropping the main. Like Drunken Boy was all over the map. So when JonSnow lost there, you're like, okay, multitasking is hard to keep up with. FutuRe's just pushing with the same consolidated force, and I think holding back until speed's done, this is the right choice. He's just trading out tumors, really.
Well, that's true, but I was talking about his bank. That's why he's having trouble,
Some
maybe.
people were born with rich parents.
I think because he had to bring the queens so far forward for so long, because he kept on losing creep that he was maybe missing a couple larva injects. And he doesn't have a spire to help kind of equalize that. It's just these very inexpensive lings. Does finally force the push entirely back. Well, not entirely, but force it to lift up and go away. So hopefully that creep spread gets a little farther. There's so many queens with so much energy. Feeling, you know, a little bit useless, I would say. Oh. Meanwhile, FuturE just gets a third base to the north. Finishing up his upgrades, which I guess they look delayed. JonSnow is a good ways ahead on that one. Oh my god, just pick up.
Ooh, he doesn't actually have any creep connecting the main. That's a little bit awkward. Not going to be devastating, but it will mean the queens will take forever to get up here, so the medevacs won't go down anytime soon. And without that spire, there's no chasing this down, so JonSnow just has to wait a little bit longer. But I do want to point out, going back to the whole waiting and bank and whatever, he's on a magnificent drone count, a gold base, 4 bases. He's got the macro hatchery. He's got the army supply. Like, this is looking like a great spot for JonSnow. The only thing he's missing out on is creep spread.
Right, yeah, the creep spread's not too great, which is quite similar to what he played against Drunken Boy. And yet he still had a couple of games where he really looked very, very good. He's had such faster upgrades, not quite a full 2-2 ahead, but almost. And yeah, he's gonna have plenty of mutas popping out initially. But FuturE, I feel like FuturE just needs one good fight. He's so close to having it off of creep. Oh, but this isn't the start of one. Oh my god, everything was so clumped up in the Widow Mines. I'm surprised anything got a shot off. All of them were all together under the banelings.
Shot aside, these medevacs barely got out of there. We're going to get to this point where FuturE is going to lose that longevity of stay. 15 mutas coming out is going to hunt these down pretty quick.
Mm-hmm. Might as well just go ahead and drop this. He can continue pressuring as long as he's off of creep. Well, it's a little suspicious about Widow Mines. And he's not unloading, so now if he unloads, it's going to be bad news. A lot of his units are stuck in limbo, not helping, not doing anything. There we go, finally fully unloads. A couple of units see what could have been a possible counterattack. Not this one, the other one, but this one included. draw back some of the reinforcements.
How many is that? 15 still? 16? Focusing on the medevacs does not take much effort, and the Ling's just running over the Marines. I didn't realize upgrades became such a big difference here, actually.
Yeah.
2-2 versus 1-1 feels bad, man. Ling's
no
doing
splash.
great damage.
No splash. He really should have retreated as soon as he decided he would. He should have retreated, actually, just in general. Without that splash, without any Marauders to help even soak up the Banlings, he was desperately in need of something a little bit more than just a couple of Marines.
GG. JonSnow takes the first game in what has become the semifinals of the whole tournament. As a reminder, Drunken Boy has opted to forfeit his spot, so the winner of this will go straight through to the grand finals. So good start for JonSnow, up 1-0 at the moment. I do have to take care of something though, guys, so normally while we wait another game for a commercial break, I just got to stick one in here really quick, and we will be right back. Folks, oh, whoops, sorry, I was muted. Just had a moment there because we had the wrong map as well, so just confirming that we're in the right one. Should be getting into this lobby here ASAP.
Yeah, apparently no one caught that a vetoed map was included, so now they're gonna figure it out.
Awkward. So this is actually kind of neat. To note really quick, if FuturE brings this back and wins, it's still up in the air as to like what the qualifier will look like. But if JonSnow wins this, then it's a guarantee that it's a Zerg coming into the wildcard slot, meaning that we'll have a Zerg, Terran, Protoss from Korea, a Zerg, Terran, Protoss from North America / Europe, with the last two spots being kind of our choosing. And what's great about that, or not, excuse me, with the very last slot being our choosing, we'll have one more qualifier. But what's great about that is it really does give us the freedom to invite whoever we want. The biggest fear is that all qualified players are Zerg, and then you're very limited on who you can invite. Like, for example, you might want to invite Game Time, but then you can't because, well, he's a Zerg type thing.
Don't want 8 Zerg.
No. That would be, as much as I like ZvZ, and genuinely I do not want to cast a ZvZ tournament.
You cut off there, but I can imagine what you said. I saw where it was going.
I said kill me.
Okay.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're getting to game number 2. He did a pretty good job cleaning up the creep, but not enough to kill his opponent. In the top right, he is, ironically, from our past, the Red Terran FuturE.
In the bottom left, as the blue Zerg, he is JonSnow.
Also, just confirming something brought up in chat. Banling speed only gives them 5 health, just to settle anybody who's having arguments to say otherwise, and only 5 health. It used to be 10 in their initial implication, and then they changed it back because it was a little bit much. You actually had like nothing that could kill them because Banlings aren't classified as light units or anything. They're just biological. Yeah. Which is always so fun when you're like, I got Hellions. I'll deal with this, no problem. Oh wait, why does it take like 100 shots to kill a Banling?
Yeah. I really can't think about it. It's still the speed that's most terrifying.